The parade of graduates is underway and will arrive at Midway Ceremonial Hall in just a few moments. Please make sure that all personal items are clear of the aisles and the drill deck. Guests in the balcony are reminded that standing along the rail is prohibited for the remainder of the ceremony. We know that your sailors will have many wonderful and amazing stories for you about their boot camp experience. However, at this time, we offer some video evidence that reveals our side of the story.
As the parade of graduates approaches, we salute the states and territories whose sons and daughters will graduate today.
Delaware,
Pennsylvania, New Jersey,
Georgia,
Connecticut, Massachusetts,
Maryland,
South Carolina,
New Hampshire,
Virginia, New York,
North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont,
Kentucky, Tennessee,
Ohio, Louisiana, Indiana,
Mississippi,
Illinois,
Alabama, Maine,
Missouri,
Arkansas, Michigan,
Florida, Texas,
Iowa, Wisconsin,
California, Minnesota,
Oregon, Kansas,
West Virginia, Nevada,
Nebraska,
Colorado, North Dakota,
South Dakota,
Montana,
Washington,
Idaho,
Wyoming, Utah,
Oklahoma,
New Mexico, Arizona,
Alaska,
Hawaii, District of Columbia,
Puerto Rico,
Guam,
American Samoa,
Northern Mariana Islands,
Virgin Islands,
state flags, order, arms. And now we invite you to join the staff of Recruit Training Command in welcoming the graduating divisions with your applause as they enter Midway Ceremonial Hall and are announced in the following order.
Please welcome Division 265. Division 266. Division 267. Division 268. Division 269. Division 270. Division 271. Division 272. Division 273. Division 274. Division 275. Division 276. Today's graduating performing unit is Division 943. Division 943 provides the state flag, color guard, and drum line units for today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Thank you. Divisions. Right. Face. Section leaders fall out and collect outer garments. Divisions. Counter. March. Divisions. Halt.
Prepare for review. At a normal interval. Dress lift. Dress. Ready. Front. Left. Face. At a close interval. Dress right. Dress. Ready. Front. Right. Face. Parade. Rest.
May I have your attention, please? For the remainder of the review, no one will be permitted to pass in front of the review stand, and we ask this as a courtesy to our reviewing officer. Photography is certainly encouraged, but we ask that you remain seated and off the drill deck. The photographers you will see on deck throughout the review are the official photographers of Recruit Training Command. Division commanders, left or right, face, parade, rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am Lieutenant Ian DeSoto, Recruit Training Command's Drill Division Officer. I would like to welcome you to today's Pass and Review. Today, you will see 13 divisions comprised of 873 sailors participate in their graduation ceremony and soon join the most powerful Navy in the world. Please draw your attention to the unit position at center deck. There is the review commander and staff. The review commander is responsible for conducting the graduation ceremony. Let's give a round of applause to today's review commander, Seaman Daniel Duget from Miami, Florida. Performing today is the staff unit on their 6th week of training, the triple threat unit on their 7th week of training, and graduating is the state flags unit on their 8th and final week of training. These units are comprised entirely of recruits. During their night of arrival, all recruits are placed in divisions of 88 personnel and assigned their division commanders. Recruit division commanders form the backbone of recruit training and are the key individuals in the life of every recruit. Division commanders must serve as counselors, disciplinarians, administrators, and military leaders. Above all, they must show themselves as outstanding examples of military bearing, appearance, attitude, and behavior. Each division also has a recruit chief petty officer. This is the senior recruit who supervises the divisional staff positions and leads the division in the absence of their division commanders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the graduating divisions, their division commanders, and recruit chief petty officers. As I introduce each division, they will raise the competitive flags that they've earned throughout their training. As I introduce each recruit chief petty officer, the flag representing their home state will also be raised. Please hold your applause until all introductions have been completed. I will be starting from their right. Division 2, 6, 5. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Kevin Remmers. Petty Officer First Class Angela Berkey. Petty Officer First Class Gregory Nelson. And their Recruit Chief Petty Officer, Seaman Shane Schermerhorn from Honolulu, Hawaii. Division 2, 6, 6. Commanded by Petty Officer First Class Dewey Tran. Petty Officer First Class Shantae Farley. Petty Officer Second Class Darius Binion. And their Recruit Chief Petty Officer, Seaman Nicholas Bursou from Palm Bay, Florida. Division 2, 6, 7. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Todd Walden. Petty Officer First Class Dennis Orley. Petty Officer Second Class Nicholas Jones. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer, Seaman Edward Arpa from Newport Richey, Florida. Division 2, 6, 8. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Scott Weber. Petty Officer First Class Ryan Shafran. Petty Officer First Class Jacob Byron. And their Recruit Chief Petty Officer, Seaman Joshua Harris from Lompoc, California. Division 2, 6, 9. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Zachary Bristol. Petty Officer First Class Christopher Griffith. Petty Officer Second Class Christina Ortega. And their Recruit Chief Petty Officer, Seaman Kylie Gray from Del City, Oklahoma. Division 2, 7, 0. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Bradley Free. Petty Officer First Class Dominique Jackson. Petty Officer First Class David Larson. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer, Seaman Nathan Wallen from Chesapeake, Virginia. Division 2, 7, 1. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Justin Heisey. Petty Officer First Class Derek Webb. Petty Officer First Class Carrie King. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer, Seaman Brandon Reeder from Tucson, Arizona. Division 2, 7, 2. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Wale Olegun. Petty Officer First Class Paul Jones. Petty Officer First Class Benjamin Harris. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer, Seaman Joel Prentice from Edmond, Oklahoma. Division 2, 7-3. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Chuck Espy. Petty Officer First Class Jonathan Adams. Petty Officer Second Class Raquel Gunnell. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Casey Walden from Pompano Beach, Florida. Division 274. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Santos Colon. Petty Officer First Class Estefania Ettinger. Petty Officer First Class Richard Livas. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Ashley Del Castillo from Jacksonville, Florida. Division 275. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Tony Rivera. Petty Officer First Class Juan Robledo. Petty Officer Second Class Cameron King. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Matthew Klausch from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Division 276. Commanded by Senior Chief Petty Officer Matthew Long. Petty Officer First Class Alberto Martinez. Petty Officer First Class Nathan Thomas. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer, Seaman Javante Scally Washington from Sacramento, California. Division 943. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Charlie New. Petty Officer First Class Roosevelt Sarah. Petty Officer Second Class Tiara Moore. And the Recruit Chief Petty Officer Seaman Joseph Rodriguez from La Mirada, California. On behalf of the Commanding Officer and staff of Recruit Training Command, we congratulate these division commanders and Recruit Chief Petty Officers on a job well done. In a moment, you will see the ceremonial side boys, bosun, and honor guard take their places for arrival honors. This time-honored tradition is our formal greeting to this morning's reviewing officer. When requested by the announcer, please stand for the arrival honors, marching on of the colors, the national anthem, and the invocation. As a reminder, military guests shall remain covered throughout the entire graduation ceremony. And ladies and gentlemen, one final note. As befitting the importance of this occasion, our ceremony is conducted in a formal manner. However, we do encourage you to participate in today's graduation ceremony by letting your applause show your sailors just how proud of them you are. Once again, welcome aboard.
Will the guests please rise and remain standing for the arrival of the official party? Recruit Training Command, arriving.
Order. Arms.
Staff, Naval Service Training Command, arriving.
Order. Arms.
Naval Station Great Lakes, arriving.
Order. Arms.
The guests may be seated.
Good morning, Captain. Honor Guard, standing by for inspection. Inspection. On. Thank you for your inspection comments, sir. Color Guard, parade the colors.
Will the guests please rise? Hand salute. and salute. Ready, 2. Chaplain Bruno will offer this morning's invocation.
Let us pray. Exalted Lord, on this day we lift up our hearts, overflowing with gratitude for the strength and resilience that only comes from you. We are beholden to you as you carry us through our darkest hours. As these new sailors reflect on this day, may the words of their mouth and the meditations of their heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. We give thanks for these divisions who pass through the gates of Recruit Training Command as strangers, but depart as brothers and sisters, sailors and shipmates. We bless you, Eternal Father, for these young men and women who have willingly accepted the mantle of responsibility. May they strive each new day to serve one another as well as a grateful nation. May your face shine brightly upon their lives, their families and loved ones. May we never forget the blessings you bestow upon our United States. In the most challenging circumstances of our lives, I pray we seek guidance from you, the captain of our lives and the helmsman of our days. I pray for these divisions as they now prepare to go their separate ways. Bind them together in friendship and mutual respect. I thank you for their recruit division commanders and the passion they possess for training the greatest naval force the world has ever known. I ask for your hand to be upon these new sailors, to give them success in all they do, and may their refrain be, not to us, Lord, not to us, but to your name be the glory, because of your love and faithfulness. Amen.
Eternal Father, strong to save, whose arm hath bound the restless wave, who bids the mighty ocean deep its own appointed limits keep. Oh, hear us when we cry to thee, for those in peril on the sea. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Our guests may be seated. At this point, the commanding officer would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Then the unit commanders would face about and relay the information to their divisions. Today's events demonstrate how orders are passed through the chain of command.
Divisions, report. Very well. 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 All divisions present are accounted for, sir.
Very well. The sailors creed. Good morning, Captain. I present the graduating divisions. Request permission to commence the review.
Very well. Commence the review.
Aye, aye, sir.
Hooray! Rest!
Sound off. Award winners. Left or right face. Award winners reporting, sir.
Very well. Good morning. I'm Captain Mike Garrett, Commanding Officer of Recruit Training Command. I welcome you to this morning's recruit graduation ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where our Navy heritage meets the future, and where these young men and women enter the profession of arms. Division 943 graduates today. They are the state's flag units, providing the 50 state flags, District of Columbia, U.S. territory flags, as well as Drum Corps and Color Guard. Please join me in giving them a hand for their outstanding performances. I would also like to welcome our reviewing officer, Captain James D. Hawkins, Commanding Officer, Naval Station Great Lakes, our guest of honor, Commander Tony Schemmerhorn, Flag Secretary and Commanding Officer of Troops, U.S. Pacific Fleet, special guest, Fleet Master Chief Raymond Kemp, U.S. Naval Forces Europe, Africa, and U.S. 6th Fleet, and Captain Doug Feifel, Chief of Staff, Naval Service Training Command. I would also like to welcome and recognize the veterans in our audience for their service to our country. Would our veterans please stand? I am pleased to welcome the families and friends of these graduates who have come here today to share this significant milestone with our newest sailors. The men and women of Recruit Training Command provide the United States Navy basically trained, physically fit, and sharply disciplined sailors like those whom you see before you. They and others like them serve as the bedrock of our naval forces. They give our Navy its combat edge, and they enable us to help keep this nation secure. These sailors have successfully completed 8 weeks of demanding recruit training. They have recently demonstrated their knowledge and their courage during battle stations. They have earned the right to wear the uniform recognized throughout the world as a symbol of freedom. This training group is ready to graduate and serve in the world's most powerful Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you 873 of the newest and sharpest sailors in the United States Navy.
Recruit Training Command's competitive system among individual recruits and divisions promotes teamwork, attention to detail, and pride in accomplishment. Divisions performing above standards throughout their training are awarded recognition flags in the following mission areas: academic achievement, military drill, compartment readiness, and physical fitness. These flags are carried as a visible symbol of the division's success. Each flag indicates that your sailors, individually and as teams, met performance standards in one or more mission areas.
Parade! Ref.
Captain Hawkins will now present this week's individual awards, and he will be joined on the drill deck by our commanding officer, Captain Garrick. Chief of Staff, Naval Service Training Command, Captain Feifel, our guest of honor, Commander Schimmelhorn, and today's special guest, Fleet Master Chief Kemp.
Good morning, Captain. Fireman Howard reporting. Very well.
For achieving the highest overall academic score during recruit training, Fireman Haston Howard, Division 265 from Fairhope, Alabama, has earned the Academic Excellence Award, which is sponsored by the Lake Defiance chapter of the Illinois Society of the Sons of the American Revolution. Fireman Howard receives a letter of commendation from the commanding officer. Well done, sailor. for having displayed extraordinary qualities best expressing the American spirit of honor, initiative, and loyalty. Seaman Kylie Gray, Division 269 from Del City, Oklahoma, is awarded the Navy League Award, which is sponsored by the Navy League of the United States. Seaman Gray is presented with a commemorative plaque and a letter of commendation from the commanding officer. Well done, sailor.
Good morning, Captain. Seaman Mustafa reporting. Very well.
Seaman Issa Mustafa, Division 275 from Augusta, Georgia, is the winner of the United Service Organization Award for best exemplifying the spirit and intent of the word shipmate. Seaman Mustafa is given a commemorative plaque from the United Service Organization. Well done, sailor.
Good morning, Captain. Good morning, Commander. Good morning, Master Chief. Thank you, Master Chief.
Good morning, Captain. Fireman Chief reporting.
Very well.
Fireman Tigana Cheek, Division 265 from Tempe, Arizona, is recipient of the Military Order of the World Wars Award of Merit. This award is presented for meritorious performance during recruit training. Fireman Cheek is presented with a commemorative plaque from the Military Order of the World Wars. Well done, sailor.
Good morning, Captain. Fireman Bowers reporting.
Very well.
The Military Officers Association Leadership Award is presented to Fireman Robert Bowers, Division 266 from Ravenswood, West Virginia, for demonstrating exceptional tenacity and professionalism. Fireman Bowers is awarded a letter of commendation from our commanding officer. Well done, sailor.
Good morning, Captain. Good morning, Commander. Good morning, Master Chief.
Good morning, Captain. Fireman Arpa reporting.
Very well.
Fireman Edward Arpa, Division 267 from Newport Richey, Florida, is a recipient of the Navy Club of the United States of America Military Excellence Award for best exemplifying the qualities of enthusiasm, devotion to duty, military bearing, and teamwork. This award places him at the pinnacle of today's newest sailors. He is awarded a flag letter of commendation. Fireman Arpa, the staff of Recruit Training Command, salute you as the finest of this group of graduates. Well done, sailor.
Morning, Captain. Morning, Commander. Morning, Master Chief.
Divisions, attention.
It is appropriate to recognize such outstanding individual accomplishments by these sailors with a round of 3 cheers. the adjutant, will lead all graduating divisions in 3 cheers for this morning's award winners.
Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
I have the distinct pleasure this morning of introducing our reviewing officer, Captain James D. Hawkins. As commanding officer, Naval Station Great Lakes, he and his team enable and sustain fleet, fighter, and family by providing superior, integrated base operating support for our tenant commands. A native of Kenosha, Wisconsin, he graduated in 1991 from the University of Notre Dame with a degree in aerospace engineering and a commission through Navy ROTC. He also holds a master's degree from the Naval War College and is a graduate of the Naval Operational Planner course and Joint Forces Staff College. Designated a naval flight officer in 1994, Captain Hawkins has more than 2,300 flight hours and 500 carrier-arrested landings in the E-2C Hawkeye. His sea duty assignments include the Bear Aces of Carrier Airborne Early Warning Squadron 124, the Blue Tails of Carrier Airborne Early Warning Squadron 121, and navigator on board USS John C. Stennis. Among his shore duties, Captain Hawkins has served as an instructor, Air Wing Weapons Detachment Evaluator, and E-2C Tactics Manual Program Manager at the Carrier Airborne Early Warning Weapons School at Naval Strike and Air Warfare Center in Fallon, Nevada. Knowledge Manager and Aerospace Planner at United States Joint Forces Command, and he served on the staff of the Interagency Directorate at North American Aerospace Defense Command and United States Northern Command in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Prior to his current duties, Captain Hawkins commanded Fleet Area Control and Surveillance Facility in San Diego, California. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a warm Recruit Training Command welcome to Captain James D. Hawkins.
Good morning, everybody. As he said, I'm Captain James Hawkins, the Commanding Officer of Naval Station Great Lakes, the quarterdeck of the Navy. And it's a great privilege to join you today to welcome these 873 sailors into the world's finest Navy. For over a century, Naval Station Great Lakes has transformed over 3 million civilians into highly trained sailors. The program here has always been rigorous, demanding more from recruits than they probably thought possible. But each of them has successfully answered the call to duty to serve a cause greater than themselves. They have passed battle stations and proven themselves worthy of wearing the uniform that symbolizes freedom throughout the world, the uniform of the United States Navy. Now, the recruit division commanders and the instructors and staff here at Recruit Training Command have taken on a unique and honorable challenge of shaping recruits into the finest American sailors and maintaining the highest of standards. And we thank them for their dedication. But most importantly, we acknowledge these sailors' families and their friends for the integral role you have played. You've helped shape your recruit into a person who wanted to stand up for the country and for what is right, who understands the Navy core values of honor, courage, and commitment, and during the past 8 weeks, you have tirelessly supported them. We now welcome you into our Navy family. Sailors, you're about to embark on one of the most challenging adventures of your life. You've chosen to serve your country at a time when it needs you and needs you most. America must show a strong presence throughout the world, on the seas and in the skies. You've taken on the responsibility of defending our nation and are now prepared for that tremendous duty. You have earned not only mine, but the respect of a grateful nation. Shipmates, welcome aboard. Congratulations. Thank you.
Drummers, post.
Stand, flag, carry on.
Captain Hawkins will now receive the salute of the graduating divisions, and he will be joined on the drill deck by our commanding officer, Captain Garrick. Please remain seated until your graduates have been placed on liberty. Please join me in one more round of appreciation for our wonderful musicians of Navy Band, Great Lakes. Flags. Post. Section leaders fall out and retrieve outer garments. Midway Ceremonial Drill Hall will be closing at the conclusion of today's graduation. Please check the area around you to ensure you have all your possessions. For those families with strollers, please retrieve them as you exit the drill hall. Thanks again to each and every one of you for joining us on this most memorable of Navy Days. And without further delay, now hear this, Liberty Call, Liberty Call. Fall out.